And it's something that has been requested quite a few times. I'm finally getting to Duck and Diesel. So, just to roll us off the bat, I'm gonna be modding these guys. So here we have both my childhood Duck and Diesel. Duck, I can't find his face because I used to make some videos with him, paper faces. I have no idea where the 3D face went, but the crappy white running board that sucks. And Diesel here, it's what you think it is. This was meant to be one of those Diesels at the Great Rate or Journey Beyond Sodor, one of those. And I gave up halfway through. This is actually like a really old model that I just never finished. Yeah, it's. Oh yeah, one problem. He's missing his motor, so I'm either gonna have this free roll. I probably will, because I'll explain why later. But he might not be able to run, or I borrow a motor from Diesel 10. I kind of need those, so I'm not sure yet. So, Diesel, he's not going to have much change to him, but for Duck, he will be modeled kind of in-universe, I'm thinking. Right? And it's kind of weird. So my plan is I'm going to make him look like a normal, Diesel. Not Diesel, I'm sorry, I wasn't thinking. Pannier. I don't know why I mixed up. All right, I'm going to make Duck look like a normal pannier. And my plan for that is, I want to mess with the tanks, right? They feel kind of big. But the main thing, I want to mod the top with a boiler. This is like a massive circle. This is not a boiler at all. This is just like a sheet over it. It looks like it is. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to completely cut the boiler out and make my own, probably around the diameter of a normal Thomas smoke box. Maybe a little bit bigger. We're going to have to see. I'll make it look good. But I'm kind of going to wing it. I think I'm going to trim the front down a hair, because he just looks kind of front heavy to me. And he's pretty long. When, he was only really long in the show. Painters aren't that long in real life. But, yeah. Duck's plan is pretty simple. As for the livery, I'm debating it. I know for a fact he's going to have no lining. But he will have, he has no lining. He's going to have the GWR in 8. Technically, out of most of my models, he's going to look the most close to the TV series. Or completely. I'm not sure yet. Because with my Great Western fleet, like Duck, Oliver, who's pretty soon, I want to give them, the same green as my Ginty. I'm doing that now, this shaded green. But I want to have the thing of, I don't do lining, probably black on the sides. They will, Duck and Oliver for sure, but, black on the sides, no lining. For Duck specifically, I'm not going to do this with anyone else, but he's going to keep his GWR, and that's just because, Duck, of course he wants it. I was considering doing NWR, but I think as a character, the GWR is just doing character. That's really it for him. I don't think it's going to be an interesting shape, but not the hardest I've ever done. And for Diesel, my plan is he's got a really good model as a base, honestly. I don't need to add much onto him. I might change the buffers, but that's it. Only thing I'm going to do is probably make him shorter. Cut probably here and here and just squish him a tiny bit, because he's pretty long. I mean, still, I could paint him black and just be fine with it. But, yeah, there's not really much to do. And for Diesel, I'm just going to paint him up like he is in the RWS and TV series. Nothing special with this, because I'm still 50-50 on it, but I don't really plan on him being part of my Sodor fleet. I'm still figuring it out, but I know for a fact I'm modeling him in that condition. Nothing special. And, actually, final thing. I was considering giving him movable side rods, but I'm not sure now. Mainly for the reason of, I've always wanted to, right? But when it is put on there, I found that they do look bulky. They're cool, but I don't know if it's going to necessarily fit next to all my models. I might see if I can rig something up, but honestly, I do like the molded detail, so I don't think I'd die if I didn't do it. We're going to see. I want to start shaping first, cutting them down, then I'll decide. But who knows, he might be getting moving side rods. You'll see in the thumbnail, but yeah. So, yeah, with that, I really just going to get right into the cutting, because I don't think I'm gonna sand him down, but I don't think I can strip all the paint off easily. I use like tester's paint. I used to use that and I hate it, and just I don't think I can get that off. So with that, I'm just gonna get straight to it and start cutting these guys down. So now the cutting is mostly generally done. Now this isn't like everything. I mean this is like all the base stuff. But here's the thing, I haven't started like trimming it down yet. And I'll start with Diesel. So as you see, I split him up into 3 sections on both the chassis and shell. I'm talking, I want to shorten him down from 2 points. A little bit on the back, right in this, you see in this section, because these parts right here, the cat and the boxes, I don't know what they are, they're pretty thin compared to the model. And on this front, the gaps is actually fine. However, I don't want to be taking space off the back without the front, because then on the chassis it would have a massive overhang on the side. Dang, I could have shifted the entire shell. I don't know. It's just it's a matter of making it even, so it doesn't look bad. Like on Duck, with his trimming, I'm cutting the front off a bit because he has a large overhang. I'm not cutting the back off. With Diesel, I want to shorten him altogether. Duck, it's more of a matter of balancing. But actually, I'll talk about Duck real quick with him. If you, I'll do it from the top view. That's how much I took off, but it's not 100% done yet. Reason for that being, well, it's not just I'm saying this a lot. It's just not polished yet. Reason being, I need to get to the shaping in order for me to really know what lengths I want. So I can't start cutting to a certain length without knowing, okay, I want it to be, this close, this long. No, it's, I was able to do the general lengths, but I need to wait and just kind of get everything figured out while I'm putting it together. Like maybe get a basis on the chassis, then follow with the shell, or do the opposite. But yeah, it's just a matter of, I gotta figure things out first. So right now, this is just a rough cut. Nothing's polished yet. And I cut off Diesel's face. Oh, that sounds bad. No, I surgically removed, keeping it intact, so I can use a paper face. Yeah, but this is a matter of, this is just for fun. But I did keep the face. I think he has a nice little face. Maybe I'll repaint it, polish it up. So if I wanted, I could put it on. But he's going to have a paper face. I just wanted to preserve it while keeping like the little lamp lines in there, the little wiring. But I'll fill this in. I have a plan. I don't know. There isn't much to say. I think it's all there. So Diesel side. With Duck, there's a bit more. So as you can see, the entire front end is shaved down. You can see the thing right here. And here's I kept this, right? But I think I'm going to be scratch building my front panel because, my main reason I cut this out because I want to redo the entire boiler shape. Because if you take the diameter of Ducks, like if you look at the top and make it a full circle, it's huge. It's a huge boiler, so I want to make it more proper, which means the front would have to adapt a bit too. Or no, that, and I want to, like, hollow the bottom out, because it's not just a panel. Like, it's a full-on, like, you can see the smoke box saddle, that kind of stuff. In turn, I didn't cut this yet, but these parts right here under these tank, I might cut them out and bring them in a bit. In turn, I can still have this motorized, but I'm going to have to switch from Duck's big battery to the normal, smaller ones you have in all the other engines. It's alright. I know I can fit it. It's just I might have to change the mount so it can fit a different battery. Because Duck, I decided, I usually don't care about them running, but with Duck, I'd like for him to run. It's because I'm not cutting the cab back, so it's just preferred, And I cut off the buffer beam, because I have to shorten it too, but also I want to swap it out. This is a Trackmaster 2 one, but, I want to give him something more bulky. The back might follow, but I just wanted to leave it alone for now until I'm sure. But as of now, the front is going to get a new look. Yeah. Oh, and this too. So before I started, I didn't think this through fully. And I started thinking, okay, I'm going to cut, like, imagine it's intact. I cut down the line here and then shorten it. then I realized, no, I'm changing the front panel anyway. I need to cut that off. So this was worthless. And what I did is I cut it off with these little snippy bits, which was a massive mistake. I thought, okay, it's going to be cleaner. I don't want to pull the Dremel tool out yet. But all I did was warp the tank. It looks okay now because I bent it back into shape, but yeah, I now have to put some milliput here and repair this. Yay. But no, that's really it for Duck and Diesel. And I mean, I already talked about what I'm gonna do for the shape. For Duck, he's getting a new boiler. Cab for the most part's fine. I opened up the windows. That just needs a polish. But overall, it's just the boiler in the front that needs to be redone. Yeah. Oh yeah. I saved. I'm probably only gonna use the funnel, but I saved all the stuff from the old boiler, like right here. And plus, I think it's really cool how it looks just hollowed out. I don't know. It's kind of cool to me. But I'm liking them. You know, I think Duck's benefiting from looking a bit shorter, because the panniers, they are a lot shorter than Duck's TV prop. His prop was long when you look at him, but it's not anything crazy. Like when I'm done, he's gonna be around the length of a just stock Thomas model, with maybe a little shorter, which I don't mind. But that's really all I have to say. So with that, I'm just going to rush through this, and I can say, now I'm going to get to the shaping where I'm putting these all together. Yeah, so I feel like I need to say more, but that's really it. All right, here we go. And with that, Duck and Diesel's shapes are both finished. And I gotta say, I'm liking them. All right, so first, I'll go for our boy Duck. So as you can see off the bat, a lot was done. Yeah, so I think main feature here is, of course, the boiler. And I believe I talked about this, but here, I'll bring the other Duck. His boiler's massive when you measure the entire diameter. So, like, this is the one thing I've never seen anyone do, and I really wanted to try it for myself. I wanted to make my own. You know, like, if you look at it dead on, if you see the circle, it's a circle, not something massive when you try and make it a circle, because this is like more like a plate. And I like it. Yeah. And second big thing, I shortened him down. If I put him here, here, this is the better way to see. You know, just a hair, just a tiny hair. Oh no, this is good. This is the way to do it. Yeah, by that much. And all I did was I cut this front plate off. Or, well, I already talked about this earlier, but I glued the front plate on. I completely forgot I did a cutting scene. But yeah, I re-glued the plate, you know, cut the top off. I cut through the windows also. That was a pain in the butt to like sand down, make it smooth. Yeah, for the boiler, I reused the funnel and the safety valve. That's perfectly fine. And this one right here, it is from, let me get my bins, hang on. It's not there. Nope. It's in this one. Nope, no. Okay, hey, there we go. It's the dome from one of these, like those weird Thomases. I don't know what year. If you know what this is, it has like the flat battery. I don't know. But that's where the dome was sourced from. I tried to make one out of milliput. Yeah, this one here. I built it off Duck's original dome, but I didn't like it. I got rid of it, or I didn't get rid of it, but this suits more, because the 5700s, they had like kind of big domes. I also gave them a top feed. I like that. And as you can see, along with the boiler, I did a lip up for the smoke box, which I like. And you can see a firebox. Panniers did have this, but they were like really hard to see. Well, really faint, I guess. Like for my Duck, the boiler actually pops out a lot higher than it should, but I had to compromise so he didn't sit super low in the front. And I kind of like it. I don't mind it. I can live with this. But technically speaking, like you'd barely even see this poking out. But yeah, I thought it was a detail that would be nice to add. You know, you get it hidden here. And I did close this bit up with milliput a bit. I didn't want to get rid of it completely because he doesn't have a battery, but he can be motorized. That's something I want to keep because, you know, it's not that important to me, but I like to keep it when I can. Yeah. And, I mean, I had a little Milliput here, because he has like a weird, it's like because of the molding, he has a weird gap right there. I don't know. I like it. I like it. And as you can see right here, as the boiler was like more inward, I had to fill in the gaps with Milliput slightly. There's a fly in here, dang it. Yeah, but that's it for that. Chassis. I didn't change much in terms of the main base, but of course, as you see, he has a new front and rear buffer beam compared to other ducks, really thin one. Now, for that, I don't have one near me, but I used a Trackmaster 2. I used two Trackmaster 2 Thomases. Cut this off and just trimmed it to piece, filed it with Milliput. Like here, I think this is the part where I'm gonna kind of disassemble him. Yeah, duck is like a funky one. Funky locking mechanism. Yeah, there we go. So take it also. This. And yeah, oh, here's one thing. When I do put duck on, you can see there's, I won't do it all the way. I added a little underneath boiler detail. And my beautiful engineering mind came up with this. So duck usually has one of the large D batteries, but if you use a, what's AA, it gives the same current. So my thought is, if I put that in there, there we go, there we go. I was gonna be disappointed. Heat still runs, and that's my little thing for that. But yeah, as for the fronts, I simply just cut them on, super glue them, and filled it out with Milliput, front and back, made it look nice. I had to trim this a bit to make this fit. Yeah, that's really it for that. I had little supports in the front, and that's really it for duck. Fit them on. I'll put them back in the corner. That's on wrong, but let's imagine. And now for the devious Diesel himself, Diesel. Yeah, so not a lot was done to him compared to duck. It looks like it, but really everything was pretty simple. I'm gonna save the obvious stuff for last, but here, one thing I did, because big thing, I shortened him, right? I cut him into 3 sections, this, and the front. And then I glued it all together, sanded this stuff with Milliput, a little bit of super glue, and a buffer fell off. Cool. I'll put that on later. But yeah, since the switch doesn't work anymore, I just filled it in with Milliput, made it, completely flat. I might have to sand this down a little more. I'm gonna see while painting. But yeah. And as you can see in the back, which one fell off of, I added new buffers. Same for the front too. But those are from just Trackmaster 2 trucks. You can cut them off really easy. The plastic's really soft. And that works well. As you see, I extended the buffer beam down slightly with Milliput. Yeah, it's a useful tool. And I also extended the ladders a bit. I didn't want to, but as I get to the front, you'll see why. It was a thing about balance. And now, the thing I'm not as happy with, these, right? So, I had to cut, when slicing this part down, he lost these bits, so I had to completely redo them. But you got like a weird cap, and then a gauge right here. This is fine. I just think the gauge is a little too big. I'm going to do some painting tricks to make it look fine, but just unpainted, it seems massive. Yeah, I think it's okay. Yeah, and as you can see on the chassis, you can see the Milliput where I kind of sliced this back together. But now for the front, I did a lot more work here than I originally planned. So, as you can see, he looks a lot different. The main thing is the handrails. And for that, I wanted to make his handrails pop a lot more, right? Because on the normal Diesel, they're really flat. You can't really notice them that well. So my thought was, okay, I used my classic paper clips to extend them. And I think it worked well. All I did for that is I filed down the original handrails, like the side ones on both sides. And well, for this one, on this side, I cut it in a bit more. If that makes sense. Like, imagine I trimmed these both down where the original handrails were, but for this side, I cut it in to here a bit more, so I cut the ladder steps. It's hard to describe. I'll post some photos on the side. Yeah. I think I'm not sure if I took good photos. I'm sorry if I didn't. But yeah, I think they look pretty good. And to the reason why I needed to do this back here, because I extended them in the front too, right? I put them down by 2 steps. Now the reason for that is, if you look at the front, I gave him these little things. I don't know what they are exactly. I'm probably going to do some research, but the Classoids had this, and I thought it would be pretty neat. A friend said, oh yeah, I should do it. You should do it. I should do it. And I was pretty reluctant but I think I like it. Actually, I kind of turned around. Like, think of a front view. I think that looks kind of cool. Like, you can see the handrails out. You just, like, the details pop. Yeah. And then final thing, which is really simple, new buffers, right, Trackmaster 2. And I extended the buffer beam down a tad. Not by a lot. Because dang, he had really thin ones and really tiny, tiny baby buffers. And I guess the final thing, you see the face here? Cardboard, and I filled it in with Milliput. Now, I know this looks super janky, but trust me on this one. Let me bring in his face. Yeah, I've been doing some decal tests, so I printed this out just because with Diesel, I wanted to like get his face space down before I make any big decisions on shape, I guess. But when I put it on there, you can't even tell the cardboard's there. It's just a Milliput. So this doesn't bother me when the face is on. Let's say that. I might try and clean it up a little more, but as of now, this is good. I'm liking him. I'm liking him. And that's really it for Diesel. A lot less to cover. Now, as for liveries, there really isn't much. For Diesel, I believe I said this, but he's just going to be how he looks in the books and TV series. Literally nothing different. Nothing different at all. That's how he's going to look. For Duck, I'm going to probably give him his Great Western stuff, but that's for later, not this step. For right now, doing the base coats, which would be, you know, green, red, and black. But yeah, he's going to have black sides. The only thing different for Duck, I'm thinking, I might give him a black front, because some panniers had that. I'll post a little photo. But yeah, I think I'm going to do that, kind of playing into my, they have like black borders on the outside, right? Give them a bit more, you know, color. So, yeah, that's really it. And that's on backwards. Yep, wait, I said that earlier. Yeah, that's it for Duck. I'm gonna paint the green and junk. Man, I finished these guys pretty quick. It's been like not even a week since the last clip. That's a record for me. All right, yeah, I'm zooming through this a bit. I really want to get to paint it. Well, more so go to bed. It's late, but I want to get the painting first thing tomorrow, and I don't want to record this then, so I'm recording this tonight. Yeah, but I think this is gonna be a fun. Painting is gonna be easy. I think I might be able to finish these guys in another week if I'm lucky. Yeah, okay. Editing Daniel will let you know. All right, let's get to the painting. All right, so with that, the painting is done. It's just a common theme at this point. You guys should already know. It's not 100% done with the red, black, and green, and well, still black. But I want to show them off because I really want to get to the final details. I am zooming with these guys. Like, it's been, 2 days? And I have the base coats on, which, I mean, really, they're simple. I've just been actually been able to focus. But still, I'm setting a good course for these guys. And I'm just saying it, the next video, it's moving along quite a bit far behind this at this point. But who knows, I might shorten that gap. Don't take this as fact, please. All right, with that, we're just going to get into it. So first, I'm going to go over with the simple one. Diesel, who I really like. It's like, here, just chassis real quick. Like, he just looks good for some reason. I mean, I like Duck, don't get me wrong. But something about Diesel, I won't show him as this, but when he's on the chassis, it's like I genuinely really like how he looks. I'm a sucker for just engines in matte black, I guess. But yeah. So one thing is the not fully painted buffer beam, right? It's not that it's fully painted, but having this bottom bit as red really brings it together. And I actually kind of like the big buffers now. I used to hate them, but they're actually good, in my opinion. Back, not much to say. Just looks good. The sides, and this is all in a matte black. This needs to be painted a bit more. It's just not gripping on this. I should have primed this. Dang it. But yeah, it didn't grip the straws as much, but I can get that. That's easy. But that's really it for Diesel. And I think it is, with Diesel, where I made his cuts, they're actually pretty seamless. Like, I don't think you can really tell this was chopped down. Same for Diesel's shell. And I am proud of that. But yeah, as for Diesel, it's just, he's just painted completely into matte black. And like, I mean, I'm going to try and, like, fill in the gaps a little bit, because if you really look, you can kind of see the little cuts right here and here. But It's clean, dare I say. It's clean. Like, if I bring my Paxton here, and also for reference on how short he is. I think I did this earlier, but yeah. These things right here, they're really wide. But on the actual class of widths, they're literally like about this thickness. And I think that brought it together, and as well as how I cut in the front a tiny bit. Just him being slightly shorter, I think that really improves the look. Yeah. But, I mean, really not much to say. I am digging the ladders. I think it would have been a lot lower in my enjoyment scale if they weren't on here. Like, if people do follow these as any sort of tutorial, I really recommend trying this out. It's difficult, all right? It takes some time, but it adds to it. Yeah. That's about it for Diesel. So I'm going to move on to Duck. I'll do the chassis first. So, not finished red, but really just right here, right? I painted the sides, but they're going to stay in black. And I painted the sides of the splashers, and what this is going to be a toolbox, because panniers had this, green, and the tops are black. I got to clean it up a little bit, but yeah, it's going to mainly be like that, and I really like that. I'm saying I really like a lot. But yeah, it's true. It's true. I'm quite happy with these guys. I've been wanting to get Duck and Diesel for a while, and just, I don't know, finally being able to get them. So first, the partially painted under boiler detail, right? Yeah. And Duck, I'm liking them. Like, specifically this new green that I'm using, right? This is an Oliver. Don't say it's Oliver. Don't say it's Oliver. It's Ginger. I'm sorry. It's... I don't know how to back myself out of this bit. Okay, people call this Oliver sometimes. That's it. That's all I'm going to say. But, yeah. But, the new green I'm using, rather than my old stinky one, I hate this green. I don't know what it is off the top of my head, but I don't like it. I'll say this now, I'm gonna remaster my Percy pretty soon, and Henry will follow one day. Because, I mean, you could just use an update in general, but livery-wise, I don't like that green. This new green that I used for Duck as well, I really like it. Okay, rant over. It's just, yeah, he's base coated green. Not much to say on that. I think it brings the model together a lot. I'm happy with that. I really like the shaping. Like, the new boiler, it pays off, right? Because it makes the tanks seem a lot wider now that it's more narrow, like if I bring Duck. The sides of his tanks seem pretty short. And, I don't know, just making them... it's not an optical illusion. It literally makes the tanks longer, which I like. And, that's about it. As you can see, I painted the smoke box black. And here's one thing. I talked about this before, but I was talking about making the fronts of the pannier tanks black. I tried it, and I hate it. I have a little picture there. It did not look good. If it was like a dark green, like the Great Western one, it would have worked, right? But I want the Duck to be in like a Northwestern livery, or at least like a hybrid between the two. I'll work on that later. But him being in this kind of brighter green, it looked bad. So I opted to paint the fronts green, and I like that a heck of a lot better. Like, I think he looks really good that way. Yeah, it's just disaster avoided, really. Yeah, that's really it for Duck here. And Diesel. By June 2. Yeah, so with that, it's just the final details. And no lining whatsoever for both of these. I'm not doing anything crazy. Duck's going to stay unlined. I like that about him. Diesel, I think there's like one lined classaweight out there, but that's it. But, he's just going to pick out some of the details in silver. I think that's it. Just paint some of the details in silver. And as for Duck, it's just, I'm going to put the GWR on the sides. I'm doing that. I contemplated putting NWR on the sides, but I'm retconning that. Or not retconning, that's not the proper word. I'm deciding not to do that. There, it's simple. Because the way I see it, Duck is a Great Western fanboy. That's what he is, right? So I'm going to keep him as number 8, right? I don't want to do that. He keeps his original Great Western BR number or whatever. He's just going to have the GWR. That's going to be the only thing Great Western about him. I guess along with how he's wearing a slightly different... Okay, think of the livery as like Great Western inspired. That's it. But he's going to keep the Northwestern number, but Great Western lettering. There. That's it. That's it. That's to keep it simple. And yeah, I'm not doing my crazy font, if you know what show this is from. That was old me, but I kind of like the font. I'm going to find the actual font the Great Western used, or actually something similar, and just slap it on there. So, Duck, just think Railway Series, really. He's just going to be that. I don't know why I'm overcomplicated. Literally, both of these. They're just going to appear how they did in the Railway Series, minus Duck's number. Yeah, that's really it. Yeah, there's... Oh, dang it, I put him on the chassis. Shoot, I wasn't supposed to spoil this. Okay, yeah, I like to keep those off until the very end. To keep the illusion of, oh, they're not done yet. But, oh well. Yeah, so with that, I'm going to get to the final details and the cleanup, as you can see. I just kind of slapped some of the black on there. But yeah, final details time. Let's go. Now, the final details are all done. And man, I think these look good. And really quick, they're on paper towels because the matte paint, specifically the matte black, can stain really easily. I wiped my table off, but I don't want anything getting on them because it's really annoying. So that's why the paper towels are there. Yeah. So Diesel. Diesel was definitely the simplest. On the shell, which I gotta grab carefully, a matte black. Or, well, you have his matte black. But the only thing I added were silver handrails and the little gauge. Yeah. For that, I believe I talked about the circle being too big. For what I did is I painted the white in the middle. Then on the edge, I painted it in the matte black and kind of, enclosed it, making the circle smaller. Yeah, pretty much. And as for the shell, full red buffer beam with black buffers, not the usual silver, and silver coupling rods. Yeah. And, That's really it for Diesel. I have the little tubes at the bottom of here. Those painted in black, which was a pain. The paint kept on chipping, but got that. And yeah, that's really it for Diesel. Like, literally, he's just going to look how he did in the TV series. Except for the little gauge, that's literally the only thing. Because, yeah, in reality, Diesel... timeline-wise, I'm making him to be like, oh, when he came on Sodor, right? Because I'm not sure if he's staying. He's most likely going to go. But simply put, no BR logo, no Northwestern symbolization. Best of both worlds, right? It's like kept neutral. Yeah. And for Duck here, you got the little thing under the boiler, but that's it. You can ignore that. For the chassis, you got red with silver buffers and a black coupling, as per usual. And same on the back, since I used it's both are Trackmaster 2 Thomas buffer beams, so same details. Green splashers with black on the top, made that a lot neater. And just painted the entire thing, cleaned it up. Now for Duck, which I gotta grab very carefully, as I just finished painting him. I've been painting him all day, and it sucks, because I am tired, but I want to get these done. But no, I like him. I like him a lot, actually. So, painted the thing fully in black. Oh, that was close. Nearly tipped him over. And silver handrails all the way around. I had to mask these off because my paint pen, because Duck, he has a very thin side handrails, so I couldn't just go over it with a paint pen. I had to mask it off and use silver paint. And I think it looks good. Might be a little thick on this side, but it doesn't bug me. For the rest of the handrails, I could just use a normal paint pen. This has that side too. The little nub right here, that's in black. Simply to, make it seem like it's not there. And, of course, you got his classic GWR. And also the number 8. So, this is really the one part where it, doesn't lean towards an... Well, it's really this Duck, he's just kind of as he looks in the illustrations. But this is the thing, slightly different. He has his GWR, but the 8 isn't the number plate. I don't know where I was going with that. That's really the only difference. He just has an 8, like in the TV, or no, not the TV. The TV series, it has the 8, but it has the kind of number plate look. But I still like a normal 8. Yeah, that's really it. I didn't want to give. I talked about this earlier, but I didn't want to give him the NWR, so I just found GWR in the right font, plastered that on because he's a Great Western boy. But I have a new method. So, as you can see, these, if I can grab them, I'll grab my Ginty. The letters look a lot neater than before, a lot flush. You can't see the paper sticking through as well. I'm trying a new strategy where I cut them out as close as I can, right? Then I place them on individually, kind of like transfers almost, but not. All right, simply put, instead of cutting a square, I cut around the letter itself where I could. And I think it looks so much neater. I don't know why I haven't been doing this. Literally, the only thing that I had to do, like, to make this look good was put some lines and measure it out and know where I need to place everything. But that was honestly pretty easy. I was thinking, oh, I don't know if I want to do that. It might be too difficult. But no, it was good. And it looks good. Yeah, I'm happy. Now, for here, I painted the safety valve gold. And I gave him whistles. I gave him 2 whistles instead of, I think he has 1 in the series. I did that after because I wanted to really build it separately. Here's a picture. And yeah, my one complaint though, it's really close to the safety valve. I did not calculate for that. But I mean, I think I can overlook it. It doesn't bug me that much. And I think it looks good. All right, so final thing, the windows, right? This is my usual method of cutting them out. And I like it. But on the back, I got a little creative, and I painted this matte black. Oh, that's close. Where I cut the windows, since, you know, the coal isn't removable for this model. And I think it gives a good effect. I like it. But yeah, that's really it. I really want to speed this along, because I am excited to get these guys done. Yeah, with that, the next part is just the weathering and clear coat, which should be pretty easy. So, with that, I'm going to do that real quick, and I'll be right back. All right. So they're done. And I hate summer weather. It is night right now, and I have to turn my fan off to record, and it is so hot in here. But we're going to continue anyway, because it's for the video. Yeah. Okay, bits aside. Diesel. So Diesel's got the clear coat. And here's the thing. He's got, like, no weathering at all. All I could do was just make the little gauge a little, you know, darker. I kind of messed it up, but I don't mind it. I think it kind of helps the look. My excuses. Yeah. Literally just a little bit of, like, was meant to be, like, oily. I could have, like, maybe used some water. I might upgrade that in the future, actually. I just put some dust right here. Simple as that. Like, I'm thinking, what if for my Diesel 10, right? I did, like, an oily effect. On Diesel, his paint doesn't work because it's black paint on black, right? With this thread, I could maybe do that, but I don't want him to be super grimy. I want him to, like, be kind of coming to soda in, like, a new condition, you know? Clear coat on this. Yeah, it works for him. It works for him. Now, Duck. Chassis first. One thing I'm really not liking. I don't know if it's, like, my clear coat's going bad or I'm just doing it in the wrong weather, but, like, the black, specifically gloss black, it's starting to, like, want to come out kind of white almost. I don't know. It might have always been an issue, but it's like I can bear it. It doesn't bug me, but I'm saying I'm noticing it. Like, I don't know if I'm just messing up or what, but I mean, here it is. A little bit of weathering on the front, a little more on the back because it's where the bunker is. But yeah, I mean, nothing I can do about it. Man, probably something, but I gotta troubleshoot, figure that out. And Duck looks really good. So first off, I weathered the boiler and kind of sides right here, right, like the funnels right here. So I weathered the front tanks. I didn't want to do it too heavy, but I think I ended up kind of doing it on the top. But yeah, it just kind of goes across the boiler. Tried to not do much in the front. In the back, that's where it kind of went a little more heavy because it's the bunker, of course. I don't hate it. I don't think of Duck to be like an engine that doesn't take a bath, that kind of thing, right? So I don't want it to be super grimy, but I think this level could be acceptable. Oh, I like him. I like him. Yeah, and, you know, the wheels, but that's not really needed to show off. Oh, yeah, for Duck, yet again, I know I just said I won't show them off, but I didn't paint them. Yeah, because it's just black wheels. I don't have a problem with that. Yeah, it's cutting a corner that I feel I'm allowed to cut. Diesels, I painted them in like a little matte black so they'd match, but that's about it. No. Are you kidding me? There we go. Yeah, so with that, keeping on the grind, it's time to put these guys together. let's go. And now, Duck and Diesel are 100% done. And here, I'll move a bit closer. Yeah. Here they are, 100% complete and with their faces. So first, I'm going to just jump into it. I'm going to show off Diesel, who I really like, actually. So starting off with, like, of course, the newest thing. You got his face. And I think it's pretty good. I think I've been up in my game lately. And he does have one more expression, which I'm not going to slap it on right now, but he has his angry face for, like, you know, when he's he's pulling the truck. Oh, it's that one. Yeah. I'm having fun making those, but I've been, since, like, the Death Series, my Connor and Caitlin project, I have had to make so many faces. I'm basically used to it by now. Yeah. But as for his model, well, there's not much to say. I'll do like a little spin around. You got here, a little bit in the back, a little bit here, and front. I mean, he's got his wheels on. Down here, there's no screw actually to fit these front ones in. They sit pretty snugly, and this kind of just clips in. So if I wanted to, I'm not going to because I might chip the paint, but you just pull it up. Simple as that. And if I don't want to risk chipping the paint, pulling this off, but I just kind of held these in with a bit of cardboard. I know it sounds janky, but it works. He rolls pretty. Yeah, he rolls well. He rolls well. Yeah. I really feel like I should be saying more, but he's really a simple model. Of course, I shortened him down, which I really like. You know, it's subtle, but it really works. Like, let me grab my Thomas, right? The stock standard length. Here. He's like about that much longer. So yeah, also work in progress, but Thomas is getting some faces as well. I posted some pictures on Twitter when I revealed these guys, but yeah, they're not perfect. I have to tweak them still, but you know, I'm having fun with it. Yeah, so no, I'm gonna keep him actually for later. Yeah, so Diesel, he's looking good. That's all I can really say. I think I can leave it at that. You got the side rods. The side rods, I like them. You know, I did mention how I wanted to maybe make movable ones, but I wasn't sure on the look. But I think this is fine. I think the silver, it really helps them pop. The molding's pretty good. Yeah, and the letters too. This is something I added on, but it's kind of fun. For my models in the future, I think I want to start adding like ladders and junk. I want to mess with it. And I think it really does help the look. And from the front on V, you got like the little tubes down here with the little railing. I don't know what it's for. I think it looks good. Yeah. And now I'll move on to Duck. Which, man, I'm really happy to finally have like my version of Duck. Because I've been wanting to make him forever. But yeah. So here's what he looks like all put together. I'll do the little, spin around as I always do. You got that. You got that. Just pause if you'd like to see. And yeah. I gotta think. Really, everything I need to cover is covered, but here he is, all put together. Personally, I don't know. I'm really a fan of how he turned out. Like, here, you're gonna hear me rummaging through my drawer. I'm gonna grab my, my normal Duck. Yeah, Diesel, it's a bit harder because I don't know where my Paxton. No, let me grab my Paxton. I'm gonna wait 1 second. See. What the? Alright, yeah, that took a minute. But, here, quickly back to Diesel for a second. If you want to get, like, a little comparison, yeah, it's better side by side, really, in terms of, like, length. Yeah, so he's a fair bit shorter. Like, this part right here, that's a lot thinner. But, yeah, that's really not much to say. It's just, he's different. One thing quickly. Frankly, Diesel isn't motorized, right? But for like Paxton's type, he has this motor. I might be able to get that work. Just my one problem with these is that they're kind of wider. Just look at the front on, like this way, is more, which I don't like. The Classoids are kind of thin when you look at them. Not thin, they just look different. All right, now back to duck. So of course, first thing is I have him slightly cut back. Here, look. Yeah, here, right here. You see, it's not by a lot, but I think the subtlety really helps. Because my main problem with just Trackmaster Duck is the overhang in the front. Like, look at how long he's in the back compared to the front. Maybe hard to notice, but for me, I noticed it and I can't unnotice it. So just cutting the front back to get rid of that big overhang compared to the rear. I like it. Simple as that. You know, rounding off the tanks so they're not just kind of a cube. That really does help the look. And just the new boiler. I'm very happy with how that turned out. Like, and I've always had that in mind for when I modify Duck. And just, all I can say is I recommend it. It really does help improve the look. And, I don't know, just to have a version for my in-universe, kind of really just RWS styled, I guess you could say. I like it. You know, it's really, okay, my models, they don't classify as RWS. They don't. This is like a headcanon thing. That's what they are. Like, I referred to this as RWS before, which it's not. This is headcanon, but actually, quick thing. No. I'm gonna save this for later, actually, because I have something I want to bring up. But yeah, this is simply a headcanon model, but it doesn't move far from the RWS. That's what I mean to say. Yeah, he's that's really it for them. He looks good. Here, just let me make sure. The bottom, I didn't. Oh, one thing I enjoyed it for Duck, I didn't have to paint his chassis too much because it's already black paint or a black molding, rather than like Thomas's where it's all red. Yeah, it's definitely a lot less jarring when you look underneath. I've been painting the underneath, you know, to match now. I'm trying to, you know, paint every inch of the model. So I don't know, let's say I'm filming and I do like an undercarriage shot. That would look a lot better. Yeah, it's Duck. You don't have to do as much. But yeah. Okay, I'm stretching this out when really it's done. But yeah, this is Duck and Diesel. I can say this has been a fun project. And let's say, I don't know when it's going to come out, because as of now, they're still in the shaping stage. But next video, it might continue the theme. Let's just say that. But before I close, sticking with the thing of next video, there's something I'd like to announce for just the future of this channel. Customs in the Making as a series has been going on for a while, and I think it's time this comes to a close. Yeah, this series is ending, most likely. Now, I'm not gonna go into detail. Next video is where I kind of go into detail, but this series may be dead. But think of it like a caterpillar. The caterpillar goes into its little cocoon, but out sprouts a beautiful butterfly, something better than before, not just me talking for an hour. So, okay, while this series is ending, something will take its place. It's not just like I'm leaving this channel. Like I said, I'll go into more context on it next video, but I thought I'd like to build up rather than just ending it in the next one. So, I don't know. I hope you guys are enjoying these videos, but I want to make some improvements. Let's just say that. So, with that little announcement, here were my customs of Duck and Diesel. I hope y'all liked them. So just thank you all for watching, and goodbye.